What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with K. I am K, and today we're going to talk about secret online real estate auctions that I probably shouldn't tell you about, but I'm gonna do it today. All right. So, without further ado, I'm just kind of jump in and get started. I have a lot to cover. I have a list of all these resources and tools and websites, and I kind of sprinkle them in once in a while for you guys to give you some resources, some information, so you can go ahead and start bidding on these properties. I will be releasing another video that will discuss springtime, because springtime in a lot of these states and counties are a big deal. Why? Because a lot of times auctions happen in the spring and you can really pick up some really good deals. So I'll do another video probably next week or whenever I have the time to, more than likely next week. All right, but for right now, let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first resource I want to discuss with you is Service Link Auction. By the way, I'll place all of the links in the description so you have them. You can just click them, and you too can also do your due diligence. Always, you already know that I stress doing your due diligence with these websites. I do research. I've used a lot of these websites, but it's up to you in order to do your own due diligence and make sure it is a good fit for you. But here we go. So this site basically covers a lot of foreclosure properties. So they have a lot of really good deals all over. And please, in the comments, I know I get a lot of comments like, hey, Kay, you didn't go over Indiana, for instance, or this state or that state or this state. It's not on this website. Well, you have to look, right? So I try to cover a lot of states. And this is one website that does that. So you have a lot of good deals. And a deal is subjective. You need to do your due diligence on these properties in order to see if it is worth your time, right? Because it could look good and the auction could be a good deal, but it may need a ton of work and may be a waste of your time. That's up to you to figure that out. But here you have just a lot of foreclosed properties. And by the way, once you go up here, and this is public information, by the way, so this is not revealing any information that doesn't need to be revealed. It's public information. It's an auction due to a foreclosure. A lot of these are. So up here, you can filter out whether you want to have the property occupied or vacant. There's pros and cons to both. I love to research properties that are vacant, which is why I have it here. I have it highlighted so that I can only search properties that are vacant and that are good to go. But a lot of times you may think they're vacant as far as what they're saying online, but you need to actually go by and see yourself to ensure that they are vacant, because there could be other individuals living in there that you don't know about, and that the auction is not going to research and investigate, hey, such and such lives here, or does it live here? They may do a slight research, but for the most part, you could have squatters or people who just need housing living in these properties because they know that they're abandoned. So you may have to go through an eviction process with them, which is another video within itself. However, for today, I did want to bring to you a lot of foreclosures. And these, unfortunately, probably will ramp up over time because of inflation and prices of real estate, or maintaining your home and your mortgage every month. That's going up every single month. All right. So this is a website. Check it out. You have to find out what is a good deal for you or not. Also, on all of these websites that are given, make sure you look at the terms and agreements. So for instance, click on a property, random property, and let's check it out. So this one. This is in Ohio, and they have a bid to start with, but you need to ensure that you read everything. Do your due diligence, guys. You do not want to be caught with a dud, meaning a property that may be sold here but may have some back liens or encumbrances, as we say, that will bite you in the butt pretty much, and that's not fun. Ask me how I know. So make sure you do your due diligence. And I also do consultations, one-on-one consultations for you. I'll put that link in the description as well, so we can discuss a lot of things, questions you may have, in order to kind of maneuver through this process a little bit more smoothly. Number 2 I want to discuss with you is, let me scroll up to the top. This website is called All Surplus. So allsurplus.com is an excellent resource. It has a ton of properties, and I saw this little building right here that caught my eye. I'll get to everything else in a second. I just want to run through kind of how I think. So I saw this building, and I'm assuming that you obviously have to move the building, which is fine. It's like a little shed, but the shed has a door. It has this area right here, and it has a bathroom. And then I looked on the outside and it had a air conditioner unit, right? So immediately I thought like, what was this used for? So it appears that this was a building that was at a laboratory. No, excuse me. It was office space used at a building for a recycling center. This was for the attendant at their recycling center, and they're placing it on all surplus, as something extra that they don't need anymore, and they're selling it for $10, okay? So this could easily be converted into a tiny home. It'd be a super tiny home. I don't know what bed could fit. I don't know the dimensions. Okay, here it is. I don't know the dimensions of this, the bigger area here. But my point is, where there's a will, there's a way. Housing is difficult at the time, so you never know what creative way you can use this shed for $10, and the increments are increasing by $2 each time. Hey, that's a pretty good deal in my eyes, but of course you have to inspect and make sure it's not, it's in pretty decent condition on the exterior. But back to the list, I want to go over some of the properties that are here. This is in Texas. It's $3,000. That's a starting bid. This is $34,000, and you can always filter it, of course, looking at, cheapest to more expensive, which I didn't do here, but I just wanted to show you some of the deals. They're both land deals. I love infill lots. As you already know, we sold a infill lot that was, we purchased it for $4,000 and we resold it for $25,000. I did a video on that. I'll place that below. And yeah, this is $2,900, right? You need to do your due diligence, check it out, make sure it's good for you. Where is this at? St. Louis. Okay. St. Louis, Illinois. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's that. I wanted to discuss that with you, and make sure you look at the terms. So let's go back up to the property that I just clicked. Look at all the information. So you have, this says about $50 to $150 a year. No HOA, which is important to know. You don't want to, if you don't want to pay anything extra, which I typically try to steer away from HOAs. It lets you know here, there are no liens and other costs, no past due property taxes, and no taxes due in 2024. Of course, they say this, but I will always go back and double back and ensure that this is accurate, because it may not be, right? And they actually have a YouTube video probably about the property. It tells you more information about the zoning, the location, elementary school, several churches, golf courses. That's important to know, because you want to know if this neighborhood is thriving. If it's not thriving, then it still might not be a bad deal for $2,000 if that's the winning bid. You may still get a good deal, but knowing the demographic around you, so they give you the parcel ID, knowing the demographic, the average household income, knowing all this information, what's going on in the area. There could be jobs being brought to the area, everything. Look at all these things to ensure that this may be a good deal, and also look at the comps in the area, potentially look at what's sold. Are there any other properties that sold in the area that could yield you an opportunity to maybe not build there if you didn't want to, but potentially resell it, right? So this is a good website. So you have All Surplus is number 2 on my list. Number 3. Now I'm gonna go over this website because I had one of my subscribers. They said that they were going through a difficult time. They were homeless and they lived in Michigan, and they wanted to know some resources in Michigan in order to basically find deals, potentially somewhere to stay, or in that video that I suggested flipping these properties to make even more money, right? And there's a way to do that, and there's steps that you have to take in order to do that. However, this is a great website. I've known about this website for years. When I registered for the website a couple years ago, they did make me put my my driver license number on there. I'm not sure if they still do that. You have to check and see. But I do want to let you know this is, from my research, a legit website, and they just want to make sure that you are legit as well. So keep that in mind. If they ask you that, you shouldn't put your social security number, of course, but they may ask for like your driver license number. I remember putting that in and getting getting able to see the properties and bid on some of these properties. But guys, I always like to look at past auctions. It's just something that I'm a nerd like that. I kind of like to do. Kind of just like to look at the past auctions and see, what sold in this area, or these areas, or on this website. So it gives me hope. It gives me hope that, hey, I can find a deal just like this or better, right? So these are all the lots or pieces of property that sold. And it's not all just land. It's a lot of land that does occupy the website, but it's not all land. Let's see. You have a lot here that sold for $3,000, $3K, $3,100, and they vary in $5,000, $9,000. I saw one on here that sold for, could have been $500. This is a house. Okay, they want you to log in. I don't want to log in. Let's see. These are houses, but make sure that they are houses, right? Because you don't want to go through and this is a mobile home. This is a house, so it's not all land. So keep that in mind. These are good deals. Obviously subjective. You have to look at the surrounding area and what you're trying to do with the property. But I wanted to bring this to you, right? And this is only one county. So this particular property sold for $2,000. It is in one county. So you can go back and look and see what other counties are available. Here we go. And Central Lower Peninsula. Boom. 82,000. That's up there with regards to the deals we're looking at. Let's see, 16,000. Cool. It's a lot of land, a lot of good, what is perceived to be good deals. Interesting. This is $5,000. They won't. I'm not going to click on another one because I don't feel like logging in right now. But you get the idea. You get the point. So these $850. Okay. So these are deals on this website. It's called taxsale.info, excuse me. And a lot of deals. So keep that in mind. And by the way, I'm gonna put this comment on the video right here because one of my subscribers, or I would assume she's a subscriber or they are a subscriber, but one of the people on this particular, that commented on one of my videos, they said that they purchased some property due to one of my videos and it was a pretty good deal. So I put that comment here so you can see that those who take action on the ideas, not even ideas, but the resources I'm providing, they're the winners, right? You can view this all day, but you have to at some point take some action and really get all the information you need. Of course, you're going to do research and find out what it is about tax liens, tax deeds, and just cheap properties, the pros, the cons. You have to weigh all that out. That's a part of your due diligence. But make sure you don't get kind of paralyzed or stuck in that state, right? You don't want to have analysis paralysis where you're not doing anything at all, guys. That's the point of this channel, is to make sure you are a doer and that you ensure that you are setting yourself up for success. All right, the last resource I want to share with you is a website called Transon. I don't know how to say it necessarily, but here it is. So they have both commercial properties and they also have a lot of multi-units. And I've studied this website over time, and it just depends on where the location is. I mean, it depends on the property and where it's located. So this website may not cover all states. It may just cover maybe 10, right? But if you are in the market for a multi-unit, here's one. If you're in the market for that looks abandoned, right? This is an auction that's going to happen in April. So getting the heads up on something like this and say, oh, okay, I might be interested in this. I think this is in North Dakota. You might not be interested in it, but I wanted to provide this resource because they have both residential and they also have commercial properties. And that's page 2. They have tons of pages you can kind of check out. All right. I hope this video really helped you. I hope all my videos help you, but this one was kind of really cool because it's a lot of information, a lot of auctions, and a lot of good deals. You just have to search and ensure that you are a doer. Okay, so in the comments, let's put that. If you made it to this point in the video, put doer, D-O-E-R. D-O-E-R, yes, doer, because you are a doer. You are doing it by researching. You are doing it by potentially purchasing. You are doing it if you do purchase, but you are in the act of action. All right. So without further ado, I really hope you guys have a blessed day. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.